So that way you will be able to see the presentation. And I'm going to share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Yeah? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Malati. I go with MC, Mal, Hey You, whatever else you can call me. I live in Plano, Texas, and I am a yoga instructor and I'm a food blogger. I have a healthy lifestyle website that I manage. Um, I have a small backyard garden where I sometimes successfully and sometimes unsuccessfully try to grow things. So, a lot of failures and successes, as all of you know. So, today's presentation is plantain, and this is a picture clicked by Donna of me in Costa Rica, where we toured a coffee, chocolate, and plantain garden. So let's bring ahead. How many of you have heard of plantain? Okay. So let's, okay. Let's see why the screen is not advancing. Okay. So is plantain a fruit? And it is, including the raw plantains. And we'll talk about what's the difference between plantain and banana. So the plantain banana, that's the whole name. It's a starchy fruit from the Musa species. And this is a staple food in many tropical regions. This actually, I realized, is a gigantic herb. It's not a tree, it's not a plant, it's a herb, and it springs from an underground stem, which is the rhizome. The plant, the herb, grows to about 15 to 20 feet in height. There are dwarf varieties, which are now currently being raised as hybrids. The plantain originated in Southeast Asia. Now it grows in several parts of the world where the weather is warm, including India, Africa, Egypt is a big place, tropical America. So I have seen this will grow in Dallas as well, but you would be hard pressed to see fruit because the summers are not long enough. In Houston, my friends grow the banana plant and they actually have good produce. You will see this in the Caribbean. Central America is a big place where you will see plantains. Plantains versus bananas. So when they classified this plant, is it Linnaeus who did the categories? They did not categorize these separately. They lumped them all under Musa. But plantains and bananas are totally different fruits. Plantains are starchy, and when they are raw, they're more starchy. They're less sweet. Even when they ripen, they don't become very sweet. These are eaten as vegetables. You can never eat, even when the plantain is ripe, you cannot eat them. They're not very delicious. You have to cook them before you eat them. The plantains are much, much longer than a regular banana. They have a very thick skin, so you can't really peel it like the way you would peel a regular fruit banana, a sweet banana. You have to scrape, or you have to use a knife to remove the outer skin. You can eat them in all the three stages: green, yellow, and black. And you will see that these are different stages. We'll briefly touch on bananas. These are the bananas that we're used to. They're sweet and they are eaten when they're raw, and they're green when they're raw. So the color green is not when they're fully ripe. Yellow is when they're ripe. After that, they become kind of inedible when they kind of start to rot when they reach the next stage. So that's the difference between plantains and bananas. Plantain varieties. So these are the green ones on the left are plantains. And these are red bananas that are found mostly in India. The several parts in southern India where red bananas are grown. They have a very distinct taste. The apple bananas are the very small. The apple bananas are no more than 3 to 4 inches long, and they're extremely sweet. And the Cavendish bananas are the ones that we are mostly familiar with. These are the ones that are available in our regular grocery stores. But if you go to ethnic Mexican stores, you will find a lot of these varieties of banana available. The one in the center is the Sava banana. This is the original banana that originated in Southeast Asia, now primarily grown in several parts of Africa. So the cooking bananas are the ones on the extreme right. And this is a loose plantain. As you can see, the taste varies a little bit, but the ones on the right are primarily grown to cook and not to eat raw. In all parts of the world, the banana is called a useful plant. And when I say useful, every single part of the banana tree is used. This is the fruit. Several recipes available. This is a staple food in many parts of the world, especially in South India. So the one on the extreme left, these are banana nuggets. They're fritters. So you basically cook the raw banana and then you roll them out into patties. You put coconut on the top, or you can put crushed onions on top, or even garlic, and then you just shallow pan fry them. You can eat them with sauce or salsa. The one in the middle are pancakes. And the way these pancakes are made is the raw banana is dried and powdered. This is a great option for people who want to go gluten-free. And just like almond flour, you mix this with either buttermilk or milk, and you roll out these pancakes and you fry them on the stove top. The one on the right is fritter. So you cut the banana, you can, again, shallow fry them, or you can steam them, and then you can dribble maple syrup, or you can dribble honey on it. A lot of places use raw molasses, jaggery, to make it sweet. Or you can also use spices. Za'atar, I know the presentation is coming up, is one of the most favored spices in Africa that goes with raw banana. There are a lot of places in Africa where banana is their primary starch, because rice doesn't grow, wheat doesn't grow. Bananas are high in starch. Plantains, I'm using the word interchangeably. It's a staple crop there, and people use this in a variety of ways to get their starch intake. Leaves. The banana leaves are used again. Nothing is wasted. So this is on the extreme left is a picture that I took when I was in India in November of 2019. Um, the gal on the extreme right is my niece. This was a celebration before her wedding day. And you can see that in South India, serving food traditionally on a banana leaf is the way we eat our food. Um, so there are certain rituals that are associated. The banana leaf is placed with the narrow end onto the left. The wider end is on the right, and then the salads go on the top. The spicy food goes next to it, and this little one is salt. Rice always comes in the middle, and there's a little bit of lentils. These are curries made with banana. These are fritters on the side. And of course, this is dessert, the one on the bottom right. And so she is eating her meal. This is the day that she was made a bridesmaid. So this was about 3 or 4 days before her wedding. So I thought this was a cute picture. We eat with our fingers, no silverware. And the nice part is that your plate is entirely compostable. Cows love to eat banana leaves. So after you eat, these are just rolled up and just fed to the cows. People come and take them away. So it's very eco-friendly. People also cook with banana leaves. And the flavor that the banana leaves imparts is just amazing. This was a picture that I took in Thailand, where rice, vegetables are all, and meats, they're all rolled into these leaves. And then they use these, again, eco-friendly strings from the banana plant to tie them up. And then these are all put into a stove, sometimes like a wood-fired fireplace, to cook the food. And the food cooks inside. The juices from the banana leaf are intermingled with the food, and it's very, very flavorful. So that's how the leaves are used. The stem, again, another useful plant. I took this picture again during my travels. So the stem is actually, I was reading that it's actually a fake stem. So the stem is really thick, and it's green and brown outside. So these are sold in stores, very delicious. They don't have a particular taste to them, but they have a very crunchy texture. You can stir fry them. This is a curry that is made from the stem of the banana plant. There's coconut, there is green chilies, obviously. This is an Indian dish. It's from the western part of India. Several regions in India have their own delicacies. My mom makes a chutney out of the banana stem. She chops them up and lightly sautés it, and then she grinds it with freshly grated coconut, 1 or 2 green chilies, a little bit of turmeric, salt, and a little bit of brown sugar. So it's utterly delicious. You can use it as a spread on your toast, on your bread toast, or you can eat it with several other things. We also smear it on tacos, and then put your vegetables on top and make a taco. So several ways of using the stem. The flowers. So Donna took this picture on the right. These are the flowers. And so the way, just want to give you a little, if you've not seen a banana plant flower. So basically it starts off with this purple conical thing at the bottom. And these purple flaps slowly start to open up, and the flowers are inside. And each of this flower becomes a plantain. So obviously you see one plantain will yield maybe 50 to 70 plantains. So as the fruits start to mature, these purple things start to fall off. They're like little plates. They fall off, and then each of these flowers start to become fruit. There is a point in time when the fruiting is done and there are several flowers left. The flowers are ensconced in this conical bulb. So what you do is you cut the plantains off. So you have the whole set of 60, 80 plantains, and then you have this conical thing at the bottom. You cut the conical thing, and then you open this purple flap, which is so beautiful. And then you see all these little flowers. You can't eat the flowers as is because there's a bitter, again, plants are so smart. They create this bitter sheath around the flower so that insects don't eat them or animals don't eat them. So you remove the bitter sheath. There is a little pistil, male and female. So you remove that, and then the rest of the flower is utterly edible. We make a lot of dishes. I don't, because this is a royal pain, because each flower has to be separated. You have to pull out the bitter sheath, and then you have to remove the stamen and the pistil from inside, and then you collect it. My mom will watch TV, and even she won't even look at the flowers. She's watching TV and she's separating these flowers. So this is a must-have dish whenever I go home. So this is that purple sheet that comes out. And this is a delicacy that's been made from the banana flowers. There is a YouTube video. I'm not sure if I can play this. How are we doing on time? If you're okay, I'd love to show you this video on how these banana flowers are. Second. I may have to share this. New share. Can someone unmute and tell me if you can see my screen?
I can see it.
Okay, this is a YouTube video.
doctors always look at me and think that I'm going to have a little salad, maybe a soup, and that'll be the whole meal. And when I do my actual order, this is priceless look on their face, like they can't believe, like, is someone else coming? I love food. I eat a ton of food because food is my fuel. But without a healthy gut, food is not your fuel.
So Maggie came to me about 15 years ago.
Okay.
She was bloated, gassy, and couldn't poop, and she was tired and couldn't lose weight.
And he just took one look at me and said, you have a problem with your gut. Once you figure that out, all of these things are going to change for you.
And all we did was made simple lifestyle changes. And after a few weeks, she felt so much better. And she went, wow, why are so many people feeling like that? And they think it's normal. And that's why she created this one thing for you guys to treat the gut, which are often game changers for people. And they're very simple.
And people write in and say, why? How do I feel different this quickly? Or they're shocked and they're like, it's
Mom, I think it went to the next video. That's what YouTube does. It just goes to the next video.
Hit escape and hit the
And
Zoom.
you have to stop it and get out of it.
Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me go back to sharing my screen, my original screen. All right, can you see this?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. All right, so that was about the banana flowers. And health benefits of plantains. They're a very good source of fiber. In fact, I don't know if you've heard of resistant starch. They're very starchy, but this is not the kind of starch that makes you fat or bloated or feel like you have overeaten. The beauty about resistant starch is that your body does not absorb resistant starch. It passes right through. So if you have regularity issues, plantain is a very good source of food that you can add into your diet. These are very rich in antioxidants, and we know antioxidants are needed to help our immune system. They're quite high in potassium, lowering blood sugar. They also have vitamin C. They contain B6, which is good for your heart and your soul. So a lot of health benefits. So if you ever want to introduce plantain into your diet, there's several recipes that you can explore. Like I said, I have a website, healthyindian.com. And these are some of the recipes that I have showcased so far on my website. They're all linked and they're all cooked in a healthy way. There are a lot of places that will deep fry plantains, and obviously then you lose the health benefits of the fruit. So I usually will bake it, or I will just roast it. I also use coconut flour, plantain flour in my cuisine. So several different ways. If you're curious, you can just go to Google and do plantain recipes, and there are a plethora of them. The Pioneer Woman has some nice recipes if you follow her. So she's also got some nice articles that introduce you to the world of plantains. And this is the different stages of plantain. And like I said, you can use and cook plantain in all of its stages, right from the time it is green to slightly yellow to all the way till it is black. And that's the beauty about a plantain versus a banana. A banana, you can eat it only when it's probably in that optimal stage. You can't eat it before. It's kind of yucky to eat it after. So that's my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I will stop the share and I'll open up to questions.
I have a question. When we were in Peru, we went to an organic farm, and I thought they were making plantain flour. Do they make flour out of it, or was I confused?
Yes, yes. So plantain flour is, like I mentioned, it's a great gluten-free option for people that want to avoid wheat. So we make pancakes from plantain flour. One of the photographs that I had in the presentation are actually pancakes that were stacked on top of each other. So the plantains are peeled and they're dried. And then they are ground to a fine powder. And that's the plantain flour. So yes, you are right.
Okay.
Mal, how are the flowers fertilized?
Probably how the rest of our Mother Nature fertilizes plants, bees. The plants come from the rhizome. So, okay, so the plantain tree is very interesting. Once it produces one set of fruit, it's done. So the tree is cut down. And that is when the leaves are used, the stem is used, and the remaining flowers are used. Then from the rhizome, the new plant starts to come. So in India, if left unfettered, they will spread. They will start spreading and it becomes like a little plantain farm. You can contain it by just cutting down at the root and preventing the babies from coming up from the rhizome. It's not invasive by any means. It takes a while for that little baby plant to grow.
It sounds like bamboo.
Not as invasive as bamboo. No, it's very slow growing. We had a plantain patch while I was growing up. And over a course of 10 years, it must have spread by about 10 feet. So not very fast growing. Bamboo, I believe, can be invasive.
So you won me over on the pancakes, but I don't see your recipe on the Healthy Indian.
I have not featured that recipe because sometimes plantain flour is hard to get. You have to kind of go searching for it. Whole Foods, I believe, has it. But thank you. I will feature it. I make it once in a while at home. So thank you for the reminder.
I bet you could get it on Amazon.
Yes, you can. Anything.
So sorry. So I had I taught a class about pollinating, and I know down in South America and stuff, a lot of the banana trees are pollinated by bats. So I don't know if that is the case for plantain and in different parts of the world, but.
Yeah, it's possible. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Lena.
So Malathi, when we were in the plantation, I remember the gentleman giving the tour was very cautious of us going too close because of the beehives.
Correct.
So my guess is their main pollinators were the bees.
Yes.
They liked it in there.
Yes. And I also want to mention that we were in this coffee plantation, and what this gentleman had done was he cut the stem of the banana plant in half, and each of his coffee plants, he laid a couple of these banana stems around the roots. And he explained that there is a larva that grows from the banana stem, and it helps pollinate his coffee plants, which we thought was interesting.
Oh, wow.
Every coffee plant had a couple of banana stem cut in half and put face down. And he lifted one of them to show a larva fly that was growing in there. That would ultimately go and help his coffee plants to flower and to fruit.
Malathi, Wikipedia is telling us that the plantain is wind pollinated, so I guess, which is interesting.
Oh, very interesting. So wind pollination means that the flowers would just self-pollinate each other then? right?
Like a holly is, the wind throws the pollen and it gets it. But it could be sometimes there are multiple sources of pollination, not just one.
And Melody, I wanted to say thank you for the presentation.
Oh, you're welcome. So has anyone tried plantain here?
I have at a Salvadorian restaurant.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I have. I get it I get them dried in chips at Trader Joe's and I love them.
Oh, banana chips are yummy.
Oh, and these are plantain chips, actually.
Yes, but I use the word banana interchangeably. Yes. So-
Okay.
so
I
that-
read about a blue Java banana that supposedly tastes like vanilla ice cream. I'd like to grow that sometime here.
That sounds good.
So
My
I
sister
have a-
is, sorry,
yeah.
my sister is certainly not a domestic goddess. And she lived in Balham in London. And of course, a very, very much ethnic environment, and was walking by a greengrocer and saw what she thought were bananas. And she wanted to make banana bread. And she tried to make banana breads with plantains, and it was just disgusting. Never again.
I can imagine. So I have a banana plant at home. It's still in a pot. I'm very protective of it. I'm afraid to plant it in the ground. My neighbors who are Vietnamese, they have it in the ground. But I'm carefully tending it in a pot. So maybe next year I'm going to plant it in the ground. Unfortunately, it won't fruit, but I'll be able to use the leaves to wrap some of my food to cook it.
I've had a turkey roasted in banana leaves down underground. So it was delicious.
Yum.
Does sound good.
I had one more question. I would love whenever the COVID thing's all over, could we ever have like one of those traditional Indian dinners on banana leaves?
On me.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to have all of you over. You'll have to eat with your fingers though.
Wash my hands.
So they say that when food is served on a banana leaf and you're using your fingers to pick up the food, you're also picking up tiny pieces of the banana leaf. When you're mixing your food, and when you put hot food onto a banana leaf, part of that flavor is also being imparted into the food. And of course, it's that whole tactile, sensory, thing about eating food with your fingers, where you're touching your food, you're feeling it, and your digestive juices are already flowing. And that's the whole basis of Ayurveda, where you're looking, smelling, touching your food before it even touches your lips or your tongue. So yes, Michelle, we will have an Indian dinner, and I promise to keep it non-spicy. So.
Oh, I like spice.
I know.
Bring it on.
You do.
Now, talking about Ayurveda, is there a particular dosha that the plantain appeals to?
Starchy, right, Beth? So I would say the kapha would not be good. Yeah. So it would be I would say vatas would be a good candidate to have a little bit of the starch to kind of slow them down. What do you think, the Ayurveda experts?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. I just dabble.
You definitely know more than I do.
No, I don't think so.
Formally.
You've lived it.
Okay. Anybody else got things to say?
Well, thank you. Thank you for being patient. And
oh, hey, Meg, I didn't Sharon Russell sign up for November, or did you already say her name? I know she was supposed to be doing something in the